The first step to tackling nuisance aquatic plant growth is to get to know your pond. First, determine the source of water that feeds your pond. Is it spring or stream fed like most ponds, or does it just get water from rain that runs off from surrounding land? The source of water will help you determine the watershed, or area of land that is contributing water to your pond. A pond fed entirely by runoff after rain will have a simple watershed that includes all of the high ground adjacent to the pond. A spring or stream-fed pond will have a more complex and larger pond watershed that includes all of the area that feeds water into the spring or stream. Keep in mind that any land uses within the watershed can have an impact on your pond, and some activities can directly result in increased growth of aquatic plants in your pond. Do your best to understand all the land area that is contributing water to your pond, and then try to minimize polluting activities in these areas. How big is your pond? It seems like an easy question, but few pond owners have ever actually measured their pond, and most overestimate the size of their pond. The pond area should be calculated based on some simple measurements depending on the pond shape. The area of a roughly square or rectangular pond can be estimated by simply measuring and multiplying the width and length of the pond sides. But most ponds have an irregular shape. One solution is to measure numerous transects across the pond, perhaps when the pond is covered with ice, to get an average width and length that can be multiplied together to get an approximate surface area. The more measurements that you make, the more accurate your result will be. If you do your measurements in feet, your result will be in square feet, which can be easily converted to acres. Handheld GPS systems have become quite common over the past 5 years as they have become more affordable. They can also be used to calculate the pond area by walking the pond perimeter and storing waypoints in the GPS unit. Software that comes with most GPS units can then be used to calculate the pond area from the waypoints. Once you have the pond area, the volume of water in the pond can also be calculated by measuring the pond depth at several locations to get an average. The easiest way to do this is to use a weight and string marked in feet to measure depths along 2 or more transects from a boat or canoe. The volume of water in the pond is determined by multiplying the pond area in acres by the average depth in feet to get the number of acre-feet of water in the pond. A final important feature of your pond is the depth and slope of the pond bottom. Most plant and algae growth begins in less than 3 or 4 feet of water. This water depth allows sufficient sunlight to penetrate to the pond bottom to allow plant growth to begin from the sediment. This is true of all kinds of aquatic plants, including submerged, emergent, floating plants, and algae. Minimizing the area of the pond that has less than 3 or 4 feet of water will minimize the area that can be colonized by plants and algae. This can be done when constructing the pond, or dredging can be used on existing ponds to deepen the edges.